My name is Jessica. I am 29 years old. For almost my whole life, I had a best friend named Sarah. We grew up together, on the same street. We went to the same schools. Sarah was not just my friend. She was like my sister. We told each other everything. We shared our dreams, our small worries, our happy moments. When I was sad, Sarah was there. When she needed help, I was there. Our families knew each other well. We spent holidays together sometimes. Everyone thought we would be friends forever. I thought so too. It felt safe, having Sarah, like a warm blanket on a cold day. After university, we were lucky. We both found jobs at the same small company in the city. It wasn't a big, famous place, just a normal office with about 30 people. I worked in the marketing team. I liked my job. It was creative sometimes. I enjoyed thinking of new ideas to help the company. Sarah worked in a different department, administration, but our desks were not far apart. We often ate lunch together in the small kitchen or went for a short walk outside if the weather was nice. Seeing her every day made work feel comfortable, like a little piece of home. Life felt good, mostly. Simple, but good. I had my routine, work, coffee breaks with Sarah, maybe dinner with my parents sometimes, reading books in the evening. But recently, something exciting started at work. Our boss, Mr. Henderson, announced a new, special project. It was about helping our company connect more with local people, maybe through community events or special online campaigns. It sounded interesting, important, and the best part? Mr. Henderson said he needed one person to lead this project. It would mean a small promotion, more responsibility, and a chance to do something really meaningful. My heart felt a little jump when I heard about it. This project felt perfect for me. I always liked thinking about how businesses could be better for the community, not just about making money. I started thinking immediately. Ideas came into my head quickly. I imagined posters, local partnerships, fun online challenges. I felt excited. More excited than I had felt about work in a long time. This promotion wasn't just about a better job title. It felt like my chance to do something I really believed in. Of course, the first person I told was Sarah. During our lunch break, I explained everything. My voice was fast, full of energy. I told her all my ideas, the specific event concepts, the slogans I thought of, the way I wanted to organize the team. I talked for maybe 20 minutes, non-stop. I showed her the notes I had already scribbled, down in my notebook. I trusted Sarah completely. Sharing my hopes with her felt natural, like breathing. She listened carefully, smiling. "Wow, Jessica," she said when I finally stopped talking. "Those ideas are brilliant, really great. You have worked so hard. You deserve this chance. Mr. Henderson will definitely choose you." Her words felt like sunshine. Hearing her support made me feel even more confident. I felt so happy, so hopeful. It was like my dream was already starting to come true, and my best friend was cheering for me. In the following week, I worked very hard on my proposal for the project. I stayed a little late after work a few times, making sure everything was perfect. I put all my best ideas into a clear document. I thought about possible problems and how to solve them. I felt proud of my work. I knew other people might also want the promotion, but I felt my ideas were strong and well-planned. I felt ready. Then, the day came. Mr. Henderson sent an email to everyone. Meeting at 3 p.m. in the conference room. Announcement about the new project leader. My stomach felt full of butterflies, the nervous but excited kind. I quickly sent a message to Sarah. "Wish me luck." She replied almost instantly, "Good luck. You'll be amazing." I smiled at my phone. At 3 p.m., we all gathered in the conference room. Mr. Henderson stood at the front, smiling. He talked for a few minutes about how important the project was for the company's future. My hands felt a little sweaty. I tried to breathe slowly. I looked over at Sarah, who gave me a small, quick smile. I smiled back. I received several interesting proposals, Mr. Henderson said, looking around the room. It was a difficult decision, but one person showed exceptional vision and presented some truly innovative ideas that align perfectly with our goals. He paused. My heart was beating fast now. This was it. "So," he continued, "I am very pleased to announce that the leader for our new community project will be Sarah Jenkins." The name hit me like a physical shock. Sarah? I stared at Mr. Henderson. Did I hear correctly? I looked toward Sarah. She was looking down at her hands, but then she looked up, a small, perhaps nervous smile on her face. People started clapping politely. Someone next to me patted Sarah's shoulder. My mind felt foggy, confused. Sarah? But she worked in administration. She hadn't mentioned applying. And the ideas? Mr. Henderson mentioned innovative ideas, exceptional vision. Those words sounded familiar. They sounded like the words I used when I excitedly told Sarah all my plans during our lunch break. My plans, my ideas. A cold feeling started deep inside my stomach. Sarah? How was this possible? The clapping in the conference room sounded distant, like it was happening underwater. I felt frozen in my chair. Sarah got the promotion, my Sarah, using ideas that sounded so much like mine. My mind tried to make sense of it. Maybe Mr. Henderson misunderstood? Maybe Sarah had similar ideas independently? But deep down, a small, cold voice whispered that something was wrong. Very wrong. When the meeting ended, people went over to congratulate Sarah. She looked flushed, her smile still a little shaky. I knew I had to say something. It was expected. She was my best friend. I stood up slowly, my legs feeling heavy. I walked towards her. "Congratulations, Sarah," I managed to say. I tried to make my voice sound normal, happy for her, but it came out quiet, thin, not like my usual voice at all. Sarah looked at me, and for a quick second, her eyes showed something strange, maybe guilt or fear, but it vanished quickly. "Oh, thank you, Jess," she said, her voice a bit too loud, too bright. "I was so surprised. I still can't believe it." She gave me a quick, awkward hug. It didn't feel warm like our usual hugs. It felt stiff, hurried. The rest of the afternoon was a blur. I sat at my desk, staring at my computer screen, but I couldn't focus. The words Mr. Henderson used, exceptional vision, innovative ideas, kept playing in my head. Those were my words, the ones I had used to describe my plans to Sarah over lunch. How could she have the same vision, the same exact ideas? It didn't feel logical. Sarah worked in administration. Her job was about organizing papers and schedules, not creating marketing campaigns. The next few days were difficult. Painfully difficult. I tried to act normally around Sarah. I really did. We still sat together at lunch, but the easy conversation was gone. There were long silences. I wanted to ask her about the project, about her proposal, But every time I started, she changed the subject. "So, how is the project planning going?" I asked one day, trying to sound casual. "Oh, busy," she replied quickly, suddenly, very interested in stirring her coffee. "Did you see that funny cat video online yesterday?" Another time I asked, "What specific ideas did Mr. Henderson like the most?" She hesitated, avoiding my eyes. Just the general direction, I think. It's all still very new. Lots to figure out." Then she quickly asked me about my weekend plans. It felt like she was building a wall between us, topic by topic. The happy feeling I used to have at work disappeared. Completely. My chest felt tight whenever I saw Sarah walking towards the conference room for a project meeting, or when I heard her laughing with Mr. Henderson about her plans. My happiness, the simple joy I found in my job and my friendship, felt like it was draining away, replaced by a heavy cloud of sadness and confusion. Was I imagining things? Was I being unfair to my best friend? I didn't want to believe she could do something like that. But the doubt wouldn't leave me alone. Then, one afternoon, the doubt turned into a sick certainty. I needed a file from the main office printer. Sarah's desk was near the printer. As I walked past, I saw a document she had just printed lying face up on her desk while she was away getting water. The title was Community Project, Phase 1 Plan. My eyes scanned the first few bullet points. Local Heroes Campaign, partner with small businesses to highlight community leaders, online photo contest, my town, my heart theme. Weekend workshop series, focusing on skills sharing. My breath caught in my throat. These weren't just similar ideas. These were exactly the core concepts I had excitedly described to Sarah. The specific names, the themes, they were mine. Word for word, from the notes I had shown her. I felt dizzy. I quickly grabbed my file from the printer and walked back to my desk, my hands trembling. There was no mistake now. It wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't a misunderstanding. Sarah had taken my ideas. She had presented them as her own. She had looked me in the eye, smiled, wished me luck, all while knowing she was stealing my dream. My best friend, my sister. The cold feeling inside me spread, making my whole body feel numb. The happy memories of our friendship suddenly felt tainted, like old photographs faded by a dark stain. My work wasn't fun anymore. My trust was broken. My happiness felt stolen. Was Sarah ever really my friend? Or was it all a lie? The question echoed in my quiet sadness. I knew I couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. I needed to understand why. I needed to hear it from her. Seeing my exact ideas written down on Sarah's project plan changed everything inside me. The sadness and confusion turned into a heavy certainty, a cold weight in my stomach. I spent the rest of that afternoon feeling numb, just going through the motions of work. I answered emails, I typed reports, but my mind was somewhere else. It was replaying years of friendship, searching for clues I might have missed, wondering how the person I trusted most in the world could do this. I knew I couldn't let it go. Pretending was too hard, too painful. The silence between us at lunch was already loud, but now it felt unbearable. I needed to hear the truth from her, even though I felt I already knew it. I decided I would talk to her after work. I didn't want to make a scene in the office. This conversation needed privacy. My heart pounded nervously at the thought, but I also felt a strange kind of determination. I deserved to know why. As people started packing up to leave, I walked over to Sarah's desk. She looked up, surprised to see me standing there. Her usual end-of-day smile didn't quite reach her eyes. "Hey, Sarah," I started, trying to keep my voice steady. "Can we talk for a few minutes? Maybe walk outside?" She hesitated. "Oh, sure, Jess. Is everything okay?" She glanced around, perhaps checking if anyone was listening. "Let's just walk," I said quietly. We walked out of the office building together, into the cool, late afternoon air. We didn't speak for the first block. The noise of the city traffic felt far away. My mind raced, trying to find the right words. How do you ask your best friend if she betrayed you? We reached a small park near our office, a place we sometimes sat during lunch breaks. We stopped near an empty bench. I turned to face her. My hands were clenched into fists inside my pockets. "Sarah," I began, looking directly at her. "I need to ask you something important about the project." She shifted her weight, avoiding my gaze. "Okay, what about it?" Her voice was tense. "The ideas," I said, keeping my voice low but clear. "The local heroes campaign, the My Town, My Heart photo contest, the specific plans Mr. Henderson liked so much." I paused, letting the words hang in the air. "Sarah, were they my ideas? The ones I told you about during lunch that day?" Silence. Sarah stared at the ground, her face pale. She opened her mouth, closed it again. For a moment, I thought she might deny it, might try to lie. What do you mean, Jess?" she mumbled, still not looking at me. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Please, Sarah," I said, my own voice starting to tremble slightly, not with anger, but with hurt. "I saw the printout on your desk today. Those were my exact words, my concepts, the ones I shared only with you. Please, just tell me the truth." She finally looked up, and her eyes were filled with tears. They started rolling down her cheeks. She wrapped her arms around herself. "Yes," she whispered, the word choked with, "Yes, they were your ideas." Hearing her admit it felt like a physical blow, even though I expected it. The cold feeling inside me intensified. "Why, Sarah?" I asked, the question raw with pain. "Why would you do that? We were like sisters." She started crying harder, shaking her head. "I don't know. I wanted it so much, Jess. I saw how excited you were, how good your ideas were, and Mr. Henderson mentioned needing someone with strong initiative. I felt so stuck in my job, so invisible. I saw this chance." Her voice trailed off into sobs. "I was jealous, I guess. Jealous of how easy things seemed for you sometimes, how creative you are. I felt like I deserved a chance too. So, I wrote them down. I pretended they were mine when I talked to Mr. Henderson. I didn't mean to hurt you this badly." Her explanation didn't make the pain go away. It felt weak compared to the size of her betrayal. She hadn't just taken ideas, she had taken my trust, our history, our friendship, and broken it for a promotion. She had watched me be excited, encouraged me, wished me luck, all while planning to use my work. I looked at her, my best friend since childhood, crying on a park bench, but I didn't feel pity. I felt a deep final sadness. The warmth I always felt for her was gone, replaced by something cold and empty. The person I thought was my sister had deliberately chosen to hurt me for her own gain. "You didn't just take my ideas, Sarah," I said softly. my voice flat. You took my happiness. You took us. I knew in that moment, standing there in the fading light, that our friendship was over. The trust was shattered completely. There was no going back. The realization was heavy, painful, like losing a part of myself. My sister, my friend, had done this terrible thing to me. There was nothing more to say. I turned around and walked away, leaving her crying alone on the bench. The walk home felt longer than ever before. Walking away from Sarah in the park felt like closing a very heavy door. A door to 20 years of friendship, shared jokes, secrets, and support. The next morning, going into the office felt incredibly hard. My stomach hurt. Seeing Sarah at her desk, just a few meters away, sent a wave of sadness through me. Her eyes looked red and puffy, but she didn't look at me. And I didn't look at her. Not really. The easy, comfortable feeling of our workplace was gone. It was replaced by a quiet tension that only I seemed to fully feel. We stopped having lunch together. No more coffee breaks. If we passed each other in the hallway, we might give a small, tight nod, or just look away. Sometimes we had to talk for work reasons, sending emails about documents or schedules. Our communication became very formal, very polite, like talking to a stranger. It felt unnatural, cold. Every polite word was a reminder of the warmth that was lost. Some colleagues probably noticed the change between us. We used to be inseparable, always laughing together. Now there was only silence. But no one asked me about it directly, and I was grateful for that. I didn't want to explain. Explaining would mean reliving the betrayal, the pain. And what good would it do? Telling Mr. Henderson the truth crossed my mind once or twice. Maybe Sarah would lose the project. Maybe people would know what she did. But I quickly pushed the thought away. It felt like revenge, and revenge wouldn't fix my broken heart or bring back my stolen happiness. It wouldn't rebuild the trust that was gone forever. It would just create more ugliness, more drama. I decided, rationally, that my peace was more important. The friendship was finished. That was the real consequence for both of us. So, I focused on myself. I put my energy into my own work, the tasks that were actually mine. I tried to do my job well, finding small satisfactions in finishing reports or coming up with small new ideas for my own marketing duties. It wasn't the big, exciting project I had dreamed of, but it was something. It was a way to move forward, step by step. Outside of work, I started doing things differently. Instead of calling Sarah to chat after a long day, I started reading more, books again, losing myself in different stories. I went for long walks by myself, listening to music. I spent more time with my family. Slowly, very slowly, I started to feel a tiny bit lighter. The constant heavy weight of sadness began to lift, just a little some days. One day, another colleague, a kind woman named Clara from the design team, stopped by my desk. "Hi, Jessica," she said gently. "I just wanted to say I really liked your presentation slides for the quarterly meeting. Very clear and creative." It was a small comment, but it meant a lot. It was a reminder that I was still good at my job, that someone noticed my work. It was a little spark of connection in the lonely office environment. We didn't become best friends, but sometimes we had a quick chat by the coffee machine. It was nice. Healing wasn't fast. There were still days when seeing Sarah lead a meeting about her project felt like a fresh wound. The memories of our long friendship sometimes brought tears to my eyes. Losing a best friend, especially like this, felt like losing a part of my past. But time passed. Weeks turned into months. I learned a hard lesson. I learned that sometimes people you love and trust the most can hurt you in ways you never imagined. I learned that trust is precious, like glass. Once broken, it's almost impossible to put back together perfectly. Jealousy can make people do terrible things, even people you think you know completely. My best friend betrayed me. She stole my project, yes, but more than that, she stole the happiness and security I found in our friendship. That happiness is slowly coming back now, but it's different. It's quieter, more careful. I learned that I need to protect my own heart. Most importantly, I learned that I am stronger than I thought. I survived the betrayal. I navigated the pain and the awkwardness. I chose dignity over revenge. I am learning to build my happiness again by myself, finding joy in small things and trusting my own strength. Losing Sarah hurt terribly, but it didn't break me completely. It takes time to heal from something like this, a long time maybe, but I know now that it is possible. I will find my way.